online, donc Coterie avec New Order et DNA avec Ordre. Donc, ces deux plateformes sont subventionnées pour les marques éligibles au défi à hauteur de 40%. Pour ce faire, n'hésitez pas à vous inscrire dès à présent pour bénéficier de ces subventions sur le site du défi, sur le site Connexion Mode. Voilà, donc n'hésitez pas à le faire assez rapidement de façon à ce que vous puissiez bénéficier de ces subventions. Je vais laisser la parole à nos intervenants que je remercie. Je les remercie d'avoir pris part à ce focus aujourd'hui. Nous allons démarrer donc par une situation du marché avec Coleman McCartan, qui est International Sales Director Fashion d'Informa Market. Ensuite, nous enchaînerons avec une présentation de Coterie Digital avec New Order, avec deux intervenants, Eric Hulin, VP Retail Partnership de New Order, et Ruth Litzoff, International Sales Specialist Fashion de Informa Market. Et par la suite, nous enchaînerons avec une intervention pour présenter la plateforme de Designer and Agent avec Ordre, avec Meryl Mandelbaum, qui est Managing Director de Designer and Agent, ainsi que Ryan Metoro, qui est Director of Sales America de Ordre. Donc, je remercie encore une fois nos intervenants d'avoir pris part aujourd'hui à ce focus. Dear speaker, we wanted to thank you for being here today. Thank you very much for your participation. We very much appreciated. Dear Coleman, I'm going to give you the floor. Is that the correct sentence to say to disclose the situation of the US market? Well, to give us the trend of the US market. Dear Coleman, it's you. It's for you. Coleman?
Tell me you're muted.
There we go. Sorry, folks.
Wonderful.
So, and Laura, thank you for having us this morning. We're excited to be speaking to the members of the French Federation. The French brands have always been a very important component of the Fashion Coterie show in New York City. So we're happy to be discussing things with you this morning. You know, obviously, this has been a difficult time also in the US. When we first started this adventure, I think one of the most important things for Coterie was to maintain our community. Coterie is still the #1 women's show in the United States with about 1,200 collections coming from all over the world. So it was really important for us to maintain the community, keep everybody together so that we weren't all running off in different directions. And I think for our US retailers and the international retailers that come in for Coterie each season, it was important that they knew there was one place that they could go and still get the largest overview of what was happening really in the global apparel marketplace. So we partnered with New Order. We think we made the best choice out there. There were obviously some other sites we could have gone with, but we decided that New Order was the best one for us. We started out back in September. We launched a 2-month show with New Order. This season will be launching in mid-February. So, you know, as we look to 2021, this year has been so difficult. We've seen COVID affect the different coasts of the United States differently. You know, obviously in New York, we had the effects back in March and April. Now in Los Angeles, they're having the worst time now. So when you're talking about the US and COVID, it really depends on the state, East Coast versus West Coast, and how it's been affecting the various markets. So the experience has been very different. You know, Florida, for the most part, has been open through this entire pandemic. In fact, we're doing a physical show in Florida in 2 weeks. It is a smaller Magic pop-up, but it is primarily for US brands. It's a domestic show. But the fact that we're even able to have a show in Florida in 3 weeks is pretty amazing. We were not able to pull it off in Las Vegas. We don't have the density of retailers in Las Vegas to make it a viable location for doing a show. So that's why we chose Orlando. But as we look forward, you know, the numbers have been staggering. Obviously this year, we saw e-commerce jump dramatically. And obviously that's because people were buying online. They weren't going to the shopping malls. They weren't going to closed-in shopping malls. You know, historically, for Christmas season, everyone's going to the shopping mall and doing all their Christmas gift buying. This year, that was not really an opportunity. So people were shopping online. So the numbers for, you know, I think it's 46% up for e-commerce, which is staggering. They are saying that in 2021, there'll be a rebalance and we'll start to see some of those online buyers go back to traditional brick and mortar stores, whether specialty or department stores. Department stores took a huge hit this season as well. Specialty stores were down 3%, which wasn't so bad. I think people felt a lot more comfortable shopping in their local women's boutique in their town, a small shop where you would only have a few buyers in the store at a time. So what else do we have? You know, online retail sales were strong. They continue to be very strong. We have so many online retailers that come to Coterie as a destination to do their buying. You know, I think in a physical world at Coterie, we have something like 56 buyers from Amazon that come to Coterie to search new brands, newness. They obviously come to Coterie for international. Coterie is about in a physical show, Coterie is about 18% international. So obviously the international component of Coterie is huge. And in this new digital world, we've really maintained that international presence. We are partnered on our digital platform with Korea, Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Turkey, Spain, Portugal. We have 86 brands from Italy alone. So we're excited to maintain those international brands on the digital platform. It's important. And of course, the digital platform has given us all an entree into the global marketplace. It's not just about the US market. You know, I had brands on the last digital platform that said, wow, we opened stores in Russia that we would have never met, possibly not even at a physical show. So for us, the digital event was just a really great way of keeping our community in front of the buyers, promoting the governments that we work with and the countries that we work with. We had international pavilions on the Coterie digital platform so that if you were a buyer that was interested in Italian or Portuguese, you could go directly, or Korean, you could go straight into that country pavilion and see all of the brands and hopefully discover a lot of newness. We had a lot of new on the digital platform, which was great because a lot of our buyers, they weren't necessarily buying, they're still holding their dollars, they're waiting, but they were looking for newness. They were trying to discover new brands so that when they're back into the regular buying pattern, they have a list of brands that they've now discovered and are interested in getting together with. So the digital platform for us, it was about discovery, the community, international globalization. I think that the global presence on the platform was huge. It was something that was really strong for us. So we were very excited about that. And I've actually asked Eric Ulan to join us this morning just to give us a quick 5-minute tour of what we did do on the international side of the digital platform. So Eric, I don't know if you have your presentation there, if you want to pull it up. Maybe Ruth can let you share for a moment so that you could just show us some of the things we did for the international brands on the digital Coterie platform.
Yep, if you stop sharing, then I'll share mine. Cool, there you go. All right, hello everybody. We're going to show you. So what we're showing right now is what we did. Basically, this is what happened in the September version. So this is not what it's going to look like going forward. This is what Informa put together, kind of a place for content and curation of brands that participated in Coterie during the show. So as you can see, there's different areas, there's different categories to look at. There's the part that what Coleman talked about also. There's content, there's highlights of brands, really kind of working a lot with content to get people to really drive retailers to find the newness as Coleman just described. And as you see also, there's a part where, like we have here, Brazil has kind of the enhanced visibility also for their pavilion. Mute, please. then we have here, just as an example, then you have, for instance, going to the Italian pavilion, which is kind of what we would do here too as well, to have more looking at like featuring, different Italian brands, what's important about the Italian fashion industry, etc. And so where you go from here also as a buyer, you'd go to be able to find them brands as well, where you can see then, this is all now on a demo page because we have a new one coming out, but to show you then, say like, here's what you would see, obviously many more brands also in Coterie, where you can go in and start to browse and see. One is about searching, but the second is looking at looking into the portals. Here is an example of a brand like we see where they can kind of take their pictures and make them live. You have, they can pull up their products directly. You can go and kind of browse, and really to Coma's point, that you get your best foot forward for you to connect with retailers, who then can, as they connect with you, they can then come shop your brand. And this is where you land within the new order portal, and you can put together your orders. You can see more about the brand itself. You can look at their showroom, etc. Coleman, anything you want me to cover more on this short presentation?
Well, if you could just maybe go back to the first page where there were a lot of kind of the editorial and stories. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we learned in our first edition with New Order was that marketing was so important, getting the attention of the retailers. So a lot of these stories that you see here, these were pieces that we used in our content. So when we were emailing our retailers, trying to engage with them, we were constantly looking at trends. We did resort, evening, swimwear, accessories. We did features on Made in Italy. We did features on Brazil. So we were constantly trying to engage with our retailers. I think all of you know that, this new digital world, it's new for everybody. And I know that a lot of our brands had a hard time grasping, how do I onboard? How do I load my pictures? Well, the retailers were the same. Oh, I don't shop that way. I'm not interested in going online. And of course, we at Informa, we also had to learn, how are the retailers engaging? What's getting their attention? What emails are we sending out to this retail community that are getting them to log on to the site? So from our standpoint at Informa, the most important thing we had to do was really get their attention. And a lot of these stories that you're seeing were pieces that we used in all of the marketing that we did. We have about 100,000 retailers in our network, in the Coterie, Magic network. So we were constantly emailing them every week. We had a retail team that was on the phone calling our A and B stores to engage with them. What are you looking for? How can we help you? For this upcoming season, we have two initiatives with Bloomingdale's and Macy's. They are both looking for specifically women-owned, minority-owned, and Black-owned businesses. So we are now going through all of the brands that are joining us in February and putting together a short list of these minority-owned businesses. Bloomingdale's is keen to bring on a small group of these minority businesses. So that's how we're working with some of our retailers to really cater to them and help them find the best of what they're looking for on the platform.
I might add a couple. I mean, if you look at overall to that point where, in terms of the activity on the platform over time, I think we had in total, I want to say it was around close to 60,000 connections made between brands and retailers over that period of time. To Coleman's point, there's also the part where, like, this is, as everyone knows, it's a different world than being in the physical reality. So it becomes that first step to start to build your business relationship between you as a brand and the retailer. But that is an important factor. I think we had an average, I think more than 90% of brands had more than 10 new connections made during the show. So that you look at that kind of effect is very big. And to that point where Informa did a very, very good job was really in the marketing aspect and making sure there was newness at all times and relevance, like relevant pieces to be able to bring to the retailers. And so having gone through this first iteration, now is that part to kind of bring that knowledge and experience to step it up another level for this show as well.
Right. And, as we're looking into 2021, the digital for us is not going away. So at Informa, we will be including a digital platform going forward. It's not going away. So obviously, we're not having another show until September in New York. So September 19th to 21 is the next physical Coterie in New York, September 19th to 21. So the digital platform is in February when we launch. It's just an important way of keeping your brand in front of the retailers until we can get back to a physical show. Certainly, we hope to have all of our classic French brands back at the physical Coterie in September. But until then, we think we've really put together the best option for our international brands to maintain a presence, to be in front of retailers that they might not currently work with, not only in the US, but all over the world. It's a global marketplace. And that's one of the reasons we chose New Order, is that their global presence in terms of their retailers and the brands that they have on the platform, it really helped us as well, because there was a lot of crossover between our classic Coterie buyers and then the buyers that were already on New Order. So there was a lot of crossover traffic between the two organizations. So I think that was pretty amazing. Ruth, do you want to just quickly talk about the pricing structure, just so everyone knows where we are? Eric, if she could just share her screen quickly.
Absolutely.
So Ruth works with me on the international team. Ruth and I work hand in hand with all of our government partners. We are in touch with all of our international brands for the digital and for the physical shows. Many of you probably recognize me from walking up and down the halls at the show. So Ruth, what are we doing this season? We've got the digital and physical dates there.
Yes, so for the digital dates, for our Coterie Digital in partnership with New Order, it would be a 4-week program from February 16th to March 16th. And then later in the year, September 19th to September 21, as Coleman mentioned, we will be back physical as well, offering an assortment from contemporary fashion apparel, accessories, and footwear. It's important to mention as well that Coterie is an edited and curated show. So if you've not done as an exhibitor the show with us prior, you would have to go through a screening process where the internal team will review your lookbook and everything before you get accepted to the show as well. And the pricing for the digital trade event is a package pricing of $1,995. And we offer, in addition to just the event package, additional add-ons where if you say, you know, you have a few difficulties navigating the platform, we offer like a data consultant that can assist you to help upload your data, as well as a design consultant that will be able to design your page with like the banners, your lookbooks, your line sheets, to make sure everything looks presentable and nice as well. And that would be for an additional price around $900, which if you are interested for that add-on, we work closely with Camille, our French agent, who you could reach out and we can give you further information on that as well.
I think it's interesting to note, though, that for this upcoming season, I think we have 2 brands that opted to have a service, an add-on service to help them onboard. So the process is fairly simple. So the base price for most brands would be the $19.95. If your company is small and you don't have someone to kind of technically help you onboard, we have the service, but quite frankly, very few companies have had to do that. They were able to manage the process by themselves. So $19.95 really is the full price. And obviously you do get reports during the digital event that are showing you how many retailers have viewed your page, how many retailers requested to enter your booth. It is a password protected site, so not every retailer can access your lookbook. They have to request your permission to go into your digital booth to see your collection. And by doing that, you get the email from the retailer that says, Joe's Boutique in Nashville, in Nashville would like to enter your digital booth. You can then say, you know what, I already have 5 stores in Nashville, I can't sell them. Or they're in Russia, I'm not interested in selling Russia, I have an agent or distributor there. So you're really able to decide who gets into your booth to view your collection, your lookbooks, your pricing. And of course, once you accept a retailer into your booth, you capture that retailer's information. So you have the store name, their website, you know who they are, you're able to research the store. And at that point, once you have the retailer's information, you're able to decide, is it the right store for you? Do they sell the right kind of brands? Is the price point right for you? Are you already selling a competitor of that store in the same town? So for you, it's just a great way to build connections, build your list of retail stores so that hopefully you're taking orders online, but certainly that you're in touch with them for future physical events. And the number of the traffic of retailers just viewing the site, just going and looking at everything, were huge. Did they request permission to go into every single booth? No. They would look at Brazil and say, oh, okay, I like this swimwear, or it's not for me, it's too flashy. So the retailers were able to surf the site, look for product that was appropriate, and then request to enter the booths of the brands they were interested in. So it is a fairly secure environment for you to have your lookbooks and your pricing there, so I wouldn't be concerned about that. And Laura, I'd be happy to take some questions if there's anything coming up in the chat.
There's no question in the chat. I think that you were pretty clear.
Okay.
But I might have one actually. If I am a French brand coming on your platform, what will make the difference for me in comparison with another brand? What is going to be successful for me? I mean, is there something on my own that I can do with your platform that's going to make a difference in comparison with another brand that will be as well on your platform?
Okay. So, these are some of the things that we learned in the first event that we did back in September. Like I said, we were learning New Order, Informa, our brands, our retailers. We were all learning together. So I think some of the things that make a difference is that you absolutely have to have someone on your team dedicated to your coterie presence. And that means every morning that person checks in, they look at all of the traffic on your pages, they go through the retailer requests, they're figuring out which of the stores to accept, and then figuring out how to go about working with that store. Do you want to work with them through the platform? We now take credit cards. We didn't take credit cards the first time. So now there's a credit card option so that the retailers can actually process the order within the site. So that was a big change for us. We also changed the platform from 8 weeks to 4 weeks. 8 weeks was a little too long. We really needed to capture the retailer's attention in a shorter time frame. So that's why this season we're only running for 4 weeks. I think the brands, and this is true for everybody, they have to be paying a lot more attention to their photography, their lookbooks, how they're shooting their product. And in the past, not everybody did. Maybe they just had line sheets without photography. So the photography has become so much more important. Some of the governments we're working with are now working with photographers in their cities to help the brands ensure that they're on a level playing field with everybody else. For example, I can tell you that some of my Turkish brands didn't have great photography. The Turkish were very skewed towards the Russian market. So what worked in Russia didn't necessarily work in the US market. So in some cases, the brands really have to look at their photography and really make sure that they're being consistent with what's out there in the market. So I think photography is really important. Having a dedicated person that's managing the platform for you is extremely important, and really committing to it. You need to be using the platform with all of your existing accounts. Hey, we're live on the Coterie platform. We have our new collection there, our new lookbooks up. Have you had a chance to go on? Do you have a password? If not, I can help you get the password. Or maybe you set up Zoom calls. We'd like to set up a Zoom call. We don't know your store. Can we set up a Zoom call with your store? And my team will be on with you, and we'll go through the lookbook together on a call with the brand or with the store. So it's, the way people use it varies, but there are so many ways to use New Order that if the brand is using all of the different functionality, I think there's great opportunities. Eric, did you have a thought about what brands could be doing to be more successful?
I feel like you sold our platform pretty well. Now, one big feature that we offer for brands as well is what we call a campaign feature. You can send out targeted emails through the platform, which is pretty unique, where You can send, line sheets to a large number of retailers and really kind of send it out to get basically orders back into that. So it's really kind of if you're familiar with, MailChimp or something like that on a B2C, like e-commerce platform, it's a similar thing that we use within a B2B environment, which is kind of a unique thing. So there's plenty of opportunity there. I think that Coleman's right. I think that being digital doesn't mean that you don't have to prepare, because you have to prepare like you would for a regular show anyway, right? You have to kind of do that work both before, during, and then also after for the follow-up. So it doesn't make it's not the same as having like a B2C e-commerce site where somebody comes in and buys a shirt. It is the part that kind of establishing the connection is the key thing here. I just got a question here too that says, like, in terms of how easy it is to upload platforms content like videos and photos. What I will do is show you, we have something called the dedicated New Order University page that shows you kind of all the pieces of the puzzle. So let me just pull that up and just show you. We're also going to be having that we're in the process of getting it translated into French as well, so it'll be there too. But I'll show you this the English version right now. So as you can see here is really the dedicated page for trade shows. So here you can see kind of how, and this is open. If you want to go and check it out, you can right now. It's university.neworder.com. So you can check it out if you want to. So here's really kind of going through how you fill out the data template, how you confirm the product upload, like all those things. So really it's in bite size for you to understand what you need to do and how you need to design these things. It's really kind of, it's the thing that can take some time is really just more structuring the data and making sure you're naming everything right. Once you have that ready, it's a very fast process. Really, it's a drag and drop process to get everything uploaded into the system. It's a matter of minutes to get it up once you have that first piece ready. So what I would suggest is, if you don't opt into using the Informa service, I think if you have whoever is your operations person who does your kind of your systems and is the czar, if you will, over your data, that's the person you want to have working on this, to kind of get the data portion ready. And then I think the part of having, the creative portion of creating your booth and your site is something that I think that people who work in brands do all the time. So it's a pretty simple process, that one. So I just wanted to add that.
Great.
Perfect. Thank you for this very nice demonstration, very efficient. So we're gonna finish with Kotri, and now I'm gonna give the floor to the DNA team. So for presentation of the DNA digital platform by order, I'm gonna give the floor to Meryl Mandelbaum, who is a Managing Director of Designer and Agent, and to Ryan Metoro, who is a Director of Sales American of Order.
Okay, so hi everyone. I think we need to have Ryan be able to just put our first slide up. I'm going to say welcome. We're so pleased.
Can you see my screen, Meryl?
Yes, honey, thank you.
Great.
We're so pleased to join all of you, and so grateful for the invitation from the French Federation. We like Coterie, have enjoyed tremendous participation from French brands throughout our 20+ year history. And we consider our French brands to be part of the DNA community and family. So much information was just given by the Coterie team, so I'm gonna try and not repeat any of that and just talk about what's unique about DNA and our partnership with ORD. As many of you may know, DNA is a more intimate experience, a highly curated show, very much a culture of community, like-minded independent brands, and a retail audience that comes to DNA to distinguish their store and their merchandise from the rest of the marketplace. We are rather driven, and more curated and selected. That said, we have had very similar experiences and learning curves to those described by Coleman. We're all in the same boat together, and we're all, learning as we go. I have a unique point of view because beyond being one of the
Meryl, I'm
yes.
sorry to interrupt. Just one thing. Maybe I'm the only one, but I got some echo, some
Me
noise.
too.
Ah,
Me too.
okay.
Somebody else
Maybe
might.
you got two devices open, or
I'm sorry?
do you have two connections already open or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry about that, but I'm getting it as well. So I'm not sure what that's about.
I don't know. It sounds better now that we spoke about the problem. So let's go.
Okay, sorry about that. Let's see, where was I? Oh, just a quick mention. I also have a sales agency and represent brands from Europe and Japan, and have the unique insider view of working on the DNA digital platform through ORD. And I can tell you that our expectations were really exceeded what we had hoped at the beginning of the selling season. We were all wringing our hands, thinking about projections, and it was just a tremendous relief to have a platform that was so user-friendly, that was so compatible with DNA's mission of being aesthetically no aesthetic compromise. Even though you're showing your collection on a digital platform, there's just no aesthetic compromise. It's clean, it's beautiful, the functionality is intuitive. ORD actually created a microsite for DNA that you'll get a chance to see very shortly. I'm not going to say too much more. I'm going to turn it over to Ryan, who will take you through a very succinct presentation that'll give you a little taste of what it's like to participate on the DNA platform, either as a retailer or as an exhibitor. And then maybe we can circle back if there are any questions. So I'm going to introduce our partner at ORD, who's really given us all an education, and I can't commend the kind of support that ORD has provided for both the DNA team, and for our brands as they're onboarding. So without further ado, Ryan Maturo, you can take it away.
Great, thank you. I'm kind of worried I'm making the echo, but tell me if it sounds all right.
It sounds all right.
Okay, good. So I'm just going to exit out of that presentation and bring you directly into, everyone can see, correct? I'll take that as a yes. So this is great. So this is the DNA Digital Microsite, which is a separate portal into entering the trade show, the partnership, as opposed to just our regular or.com. Like Meryl said, I really believe the key difference is it's just it's more intimate, it's more curated. We have the small selection of brands that joined us for the first season, and the way that this microsite kind of works. So again, like Coterie and New Order, it is a closed B2B platform. So the public cannot just walk into DNA Digital in the same way that they cannot just walk into the trade show. So again, it's also very curated as to who is allowed to enter and view the trade shows. But this microsite works as kind of like this would be the public-facing kind of book cover to share and to get press on, to excite potential buyers and also brands to visit the show. So this is just really the simple kind of digital interface of what would be the physical show. So if we click into this, so going into the first designer, Hanno here, so it brings you right into their showroom. So again, it is a closed B2B network. The reason it brings me right through is because I'm logged in as a buyer right now. If you were an outside buyer, you'd be brought to a login page, you'd request access. But again, very simple, very streamlined. So the purpose from a functionality standpoint that we really focus on is trying to imitate the in-person experience. So as opposed to just being a digital tool that helps you take orders, we're also really trying to create a presentation. So you come into, like you would in the physical showroom, you'd come into the digital showroom, you'd have the brand name, you'd learn about the brand. So this is a biography section where the brand can write, whatever they like about themselves, whatever they feel is important that they want to tell about their history or specifically about their season. You scroll down here, you have their different collections. So right now, after one season, you have one collection. After a few seasons, you'd see the current open collections as well as the past collections. These two sections here are also open fields. So Hannah has not uploaded anything here, but this is where you could upload video. You could add a runway presentation, but we also recommend not just having these kind of external runway presentation, campaign presentation. Sometimes brands will film, their designer presenting the collection in their showroom. So to have that kind of intimate experience that you would have had in a showroom, now you have the ability to add the videos to your showroom here. Or if you wanted to show, your artisans making your product, this would just be a great place to put that. Same thing with video. You can add a lookbook. You can add, if you wanted supplementary line sheets or swatch books, it's really an open area for documents to be uploaded here. So going into the collection, so into the Spring 21 collection, just as I said before, it's really about presentation and imitating exactly how you would do it in the showroom. So they've come in, you've told them about the brand, now you're hopping into Spring 21. So you can give them this top line overview of the collection, talking about what's new, what are the new colors and silhouettes that are important for the Spring 21 collection, and just kind of give the buyer this like big overview of what your season is all about. Going back to the top, so now that you've gone through the full collection, now you want to hop into specific items. So just going into look one, this brings up this preview page. The way our site works is it's based on looks. So in theory, you could have tagged the jacket and the shirt dress and the shoes and whatever you want in it. In this particular image, we've just tagged the coat. So going into that specific coat page, it's going to work very similar to what a buyer would be used to on an e-commerce site. So you're seeing here's the main image, which you can pull up and zoom in on here. So very sometimes these images can actually be even better than they would be in person, where you're able to really zoom in on details that you regularly couldn't in an in-person environment. So lots of alternate images. It's totally up to the brand how many images they'd like to include. Usually the more the better. The more images you have available to show the product, the easier it is for to be understood and to buy. On the right here, you'll see the name, style number, wholesale prices, the different colorways available. All of these are open fields for the brand to put whatever it is that they like. Materials, so if you wanted to be more specific, 100% silk sourced from, you can really make a beautiful presentation by adding to these descriptions. Same for the description field here. So then you see delivery window, sizing, and then you're able to select your different colors. So this first one was kind of the main image where they had lots of images shot. Alternate image where the coat comes in beige. It also comes in this blue color, which is not sampled, which rarely are brands sampling every style and every color. So you're able to see the example of that coat next to the color swatch. And you can get a really good idea of what that would look like. So once the buyer's made the selection, we can then add it to the ranging room. So I'm going to add the coat in beige to the ranging room. So I would go to, so adding that to my ranging room. So then I go here. Ranging room is basically like like your cart on an e-commerce site or your rolling rack in the showroom. So this is where you'd see all the items that you selected. Right now, we just selected one. They can size it, save it as a draft, submit it as an order. It's all meant to be really simple. I think that's where the platform really excels, is keeping it as streamlined as possible without sacrificing any functionality. No transactions actually happen through the platform, so it's not like we're taking some kind of commission or something like that. So it's really just this streamlined, very simple interface. And then when they get submitted, of course, you as a designer will see it. If it's saved as a draft, you'll be able to see the order and work with the buyer to finalize the selection. So other features on our site. So we have an area of our site called the retail network. So just like with the selection of designers, the selection of buyers on our platform is also very curated. So this is really a sales tool for brands, for salespeople to go in here and say, okay, I really want to sell in, obviously the focus is the US, so you can filter on stores in the US. Maybe you want to find other stores that carry a certain brand. Maybe you want to search for, I'm just making up a brand. So you want to search for Veer Wang. These would be all the stores, a curated list of stores in the US that carry Veer Wang, or you can search really, any field here if you want to search for stores in California. It's really just a strong tool. Prior to joining Ord, I was on the wholesale side, so having a tool like this would have been, it would have done a lot of my job for me in prospecting new business and really finding the best, most elevated stores that a brand would want to be in. So this experience, right now I'm on the kind of buyer end. I'm going to just sign out and log back in as a designer so you can see some of our reports section. Great. So this is just another demo showroom. So you're going to see this. Now there's a new section here called reports. So just like the front end is very simple and streamlined, so is the back end. So I'm going in here just to pull a report, and kind of arbitrary date, but you'd look at kind of your window of your market, selecting a few features here. Again, this is going to be just of our demo showroom, so the data will be from that. So you can see at a very top level where the buyers are coming from that have interacted with your showroom. So again, this demo showroom is a bit skewed. This 52 United States is probably me visiting the demo showroom, but it gives you an idea of how streamlined that back end is. So that's buyers by country. You'll also see top buyers that have interacted with your showroom. So our platform is a little different than the Coterie platform, where a buyer does not have to request access to your specific showroom, being that the site itself, the entire platform is quite edited. We don't, block the buyers from being able to kind of explore and browse the brand. So you're seeing a slightly different feature on the back end. So you can see who has visited your showroom. They have some curiosity to check out your brand. So you'll see someone like this first buyer, Jason Yao from Hong Kong. He's been in the showroom 41 times. That's probably one of your biggest customers. He spent a lot of time in your store. But then you might also see something like Jamie from the limited store in the United Kingdom, who's been in the showroom 2 times. That might be a new interesting prospect for you. So using this information that you have here, as well as the retail network, you could pretty easily find their contact and get in touch with them. We don't share contact information through the platform. It's not like a messaging system, because we really have some of the best stores and buyers in the world on the platform, openly sharing their information or allowing them to receive lots of messages from brands would probably diminish their activity on the platform. So with that, you have really strong engagement from some of the best stores in the world on the platform. So I was walking you through really the DNA digital kind of pathway. If you were just to kind of show you one other angle here. So this is the Ord.com platform. So while there are going to be many buyers that are visiting the DNA Digital Trade Show, that trade show is happening within the Ord.com platform, which is going to provide brands participating with a whole other level of benefits. So this is just, the Ord.com homepage. Other buyers coming in to shop, other designers would sign in here. So bringing you back to that. So here's how they'll experience it. They'll come in much like an e-commerce site, and you'll see other brands that are on our platform. We have worked with other trade shows. So you're seeing a couple, even these like AFC. So this is the Australian Fashion Council, who we did similar kind of micro trade show with, which is also very curated with Australian brands. But you're also seeing other brands that are on our site. So more of what our assortment is more advanced contemporary, more designer. So you're seeing brands like Bottega Veneta, you're seeing brands like Gucci, but you're also seeing cool, independent, emerging brands like you'd find at a trade show like DNA. So you're also getting the synergy of being part of the DNA Digital Trade Show, but then you're also benefiting from the adjacencies of the overall Ord.com platform. So maybe a buyer that's coming in here to shop for Alaya because Alaya has hosted their trade show or their showroom on our platform might also click, okay, open an order, and while they're here, shop some of the other brands that are also currently open for market. Or they might just peruse and learn about some other cool emerging brands and discover brands that way. So that's kind of it. I'll let Meryl maybe just discuss kind of the last part here.
Okay, so this is really just a word about retailer access. Any of our brands that participate on DNA Digital will provide a list of their active accounts their targeted accounts when they onboard, and those brands will be sent an invitation to register. In addition, as Ryan mentioned, ORD's existing retail audience will be exposed to all the DNA digital brands. And then obviously designers and agents' own retail network will also be on the receiving end of both invitations to shop as well as targeted outreach. We do all the things that you would expect: social media, category generated. Let's focus on accessories. Let's focus on ready to wear. Let's focus on jewelry. We do those, I think, in a very vigorous way, but we're also mindful not to assault our retailers with too much, because I think we're all experiencing virtual life and how overwhelming it can be. So we're, again, like everything else about DNA, we're very mindful and selective about how we navigate this path. I guess we should just say a word about pricing, and I'm going to let Mary Ann speak about that. Just a couple of sentences to give you a sense of where we fall in the realm of pricing.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Marilyn Ryan. So pricing is based on the scope of a collection, with the average cost being roughly $2,000. And that includes 4 months of your showroom being live on the platform, and also includes full onboarding support, continuous support throughout your time on the which your showroom is live and on the platform. So all of that is included. And also I wanted to note that DNA is also planning a physical show in New York in September, and those dates are September 18th to the 20th.
Okay.
One more thing just to add. Another feature of the trade show and the platform is we actually build the showroom for you. So you will provide us your assets and your line sheets in our template, but we do the execution for you. So we make sure that everything is uploaded properly, that everything looks good. And so for those of you that might have a little bit of a digital learning curve, you'll certainly have to get somewhat up to speed to kind of send us the assets in the right format. But we bridge that gap, and we make sure that the showroom is launched correctly, and you'll have a period of preview mode where you'll be able to go through it, request edits, and we'll get everything. We do it for you.
Actually, do you mind to remind the dates for DNA digits, please?
Mary Ann, do you want to just talk about the big picture schedule of
Sure. So
the duration?
Yes. So our quote unquote launch date for this upcoming season will be third week of February, which coincides what February, New York market would have been for designers and agents. But having said that, if a designer's showroom is ready to be uploaded and they've gone through the approval process and we've gotten their showroom set up, they can launch earlier and begin their selling season on the platform at an earlier date. Ideally, if a designer is interested, they should definitely get in contact with us within the next few weeks. I'm happy to send any information along to anyone that is interested. They could contact any member of our team. And again, as I mentioned earlier, once you're on the platform, your showroom is live for 4 months. If you need additional time, we can arrange that as well. But you have a full 4-month selling season on the ORD and through DNA Digital, I should say. Does anyone have any questions?
Actually, I'm going to have one. There is no question apparently of the brands. So it's going to be more a question to Meryl. Meryl, I know that you have been working well since years and years with the buyers. May I ask you, what kind of collection should we bring to the on the digital platform? Meaning, what trend do you feel for the buyers for the next edition?
So I don't know that I would talk about a trend per se. I think that for us at DNA, our recipe is very unique. We have such a range of products from, you know, conventional, or I shouldn't say conventional, but ready-to-wear, full ready-to-wear collections, every category of accessory, brands, from jewelries to shoes to bags. I think the thing that I'm experiencing coming through this last season is it's just not the status quo anymore. It's not about chasing trends. It's about really, for the retailers, knowing who their customer is, which of their designers speaks to their customer, and how to cast a wider net to bring more unique products into the store to excite their customers. It's all about the retail customer. And I think that there's a bit of a shift from following a trend to finding more individualistic and unique and more creative integrity. Of course, that's our point of view. I recognize there's other niches in the marketplace, but that's our point of view.
Okay, quite clear. Thank you for this. Is there any question? No question. I think that all of you have been quite clear. So everybody is thanking you on the chat. Thank you. I'm thanking you as well, Meryl, and all of you for this moment with us and for all this presentation. Just as a reminder, this presentation has been recorded, so we will put them on the website of the Federation in a couple of days. So if anybody has to replay it or to see it, we will be more than happy to give you the link. Thank you. Merci à tous. Merci à tous pour avoir participé à ce focus. Donc, le focus sera en replay effectivement d'ici quelques jours sur le site de la Fédération, ainsi que les présentations des différentes plateformes. Je profite simplement pour vous rappeler que les prochaines dates de l'international, nous avons, donc comme vous le savez, les inscriptions pour les subventions sont d'ores et déjà ouvertes sur le site de Connexion Mode. N'hésitez pas à vous inscrire, et si vous rencontrez une difficulté, à nous contacter pour vous inscrire. Nous sommes également là pour ça. Les prochaines dates de l'international, nous avons les rendez-vous digitaux avec les acheteurs russes que nous avons appelés Market Access Russie, qui auront lieu du 26 au 29 janvier. Les inscriptions sont possibles jusqu'à la fin de la semaine. Nous avons également notre salon Made in France, notre showroom Made in France à Tokyo, du 16 au 18 mars, pour lesquels les inscriptions sont ouvertes. Une opération à Taipei qui aura lieu du 21 au 23 février. Shanghai du 27 au 30 mars. Et également, je reviens à la Russie, du 22 février au 25 février. Actuellement, ces opérations sont toujours on, je dirais. Pour certaines d'entre elles, notamment Tokyo et Taipei, nous envisageons et nous allons certainement mettre en place un plan B d'envoi de collection. N'hésitez pas à nous contacter si vous avez besoin d'informations. Nous sommes à votre disposition pour cela. Merci à tous. Bonne soirée.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merci,
Thanks.
Eleanor. Ciao.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.